I think it's always fun to play against Cloud9 because they like to take a lot of risks and play really fast-paced, whereas we are more like calculated and slow. So as long as we don't let them like snowball on us, I think we're the better team. I kind of think of them as like a worse G2 in a way. They play very fast as well, but they're just not as good as G2.
Hello and thank you for joining us for Game 2, Team Liquid versus Cloud9, which has our top-of-the-table teams coming off very different takeaways after Rift Rivals.
Yeah, I think for C9, we were waiting to see them at full power. We're going to get to see our top 3 teams versus theirs. Then they're sick the whole time. And coming into this week, we're like, all right, well, they were sick for Rift Rivals.
They'll be back.
But they'll be back here. And now, once again, Licorice is taking some time off for a wrist injury, letting it heal. Probably, you know.
Which is good. Glad to hear that he's taking care of it.
Glad to hear.
Bummer about the injury. Glad to hear that he's taking the time to take care of it.
Yeah, it makes this a little less exciting. But we do get to see Kumo, who is someone people should be excited for because he is one of the up-and-coming top lane talents. He was back in the 2017 scouting ground, I believe it was. He was first picked by C9. They've been investing in this kid's future. Jukes has been playing more recently because they also brought him up, but that's because they're already confident in Kumo's skill, I think. And so they used him for the more important games, and you see he has great stats. So he is someone to be excited for.
Yeah, Kumo is in the gray zone between LCS and Academy because Jukes has more playtime this split than him, and he hasn't played in LCS either. So he's in the transition of can he be back and forth in the LCS? And I think that this is Cloud9 really just making a gun for, well, who is your 6th and 7th player that you're going to have for in national tournaments? And so if Kumo does well, then maybe it's Kumo.
Getting some super valuable playtime here against Team Liquid, our defending champions from spring, and also the team that went 3-1 at Rift Rivals for North America.
Yeah, hard not to be excited about their performance. They had, like we said, that 3-1 record. They did it with their own style, which I think is a really important thing when there's so much, you know, the takeaways, the learnings, what can teams apply from Rift Rivals. When you look at Team Liquid, they really do seem kind of like the odd team out about how they approach that entire tournament, how they're going to approach Worlds most likely.
And I think the approach and the catalyst behind Team Liquid's approach is Core JJ. At the start of the year, Core JJ was saying, yeah, we are being coined as a slow team, but this is our style and we're going to perfect it and it's going to work for us. That is the same thing he was saying for Samsung when they won Worlds, when they got to Worlds multiple times. So I think that he knows what he's doing. And before, when we were trying to question Team Liquid style, run away with it. If that's what they're going to do, I think that it's great. They should try to just improve it to the best of their ability because, as we've seen, pretty much any style works as long as you execute it well. And Team Liquid just happens to be the best team in the NA that does that.
Yeah, I think the honing, it's the interesting part. They've been getting more aggressive despite being a standard, slow team. They do still make a fair amount of plays and play relatively aggressively. So I am excited to see where they go.
All right, with that, the teams are loading into Champion Select. The prescription for Team Liquid is more of the same for Cloud9. We're interested to see how Kumo does out here on the LCS stage. Over to Kobe and Freak for the call.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to the Battle Arena. First place, Team Liquid, the new and returning pride of North America. 3 straight LCS titles, 3-1 at Rift Rivals against Europe's best. And Cloud9 hoping to see what they can do, not quite at full power. Licorice taking time off. Kumo stepping in for him in top lane. And we have a battle at 2 top-of-the-table teams.
And one of my favorite things about Kumo is that he will play pretty much any champion in the top lane. He plays tanks, he plays carries, he plays AP, he plays AD, he plays range, lane bullies, lane losers. So I think it does afford Reaper especially a lot of versatility here. And that's something you're always looking for with this team is how creative can they get in Champ Select. So far, it's a full target of Core JJ, trying to get all those support bans out. This is a common strategy versus Team Liquid.
Well, he does still have his signature Rakan up, and Xayah is still, of course, quite valuable. Keep in mind, still 9.12. No Essence Reaver nerfs just yet on this stage, so Xayah Rakan definitely can be a great duo, one that Liquid has played 4 times already in their 8 games. So if C9 are relying on that, and I think they probably would, that could be coming through. Of course, Sejuani first pick, no surprise. That is the premier champion left up.
Yeah, xSmithy, very, very experienced on the champion. We'll see what Cloud9 answer with. Lux and Rakan are probably the 2 premier supports that are left up. And Zeyzal has been able to use both fairly effectively. We're versus Sejuani, there's not a lot given away. It's the universal tank jungler. Extremely powerful because they buffed up the second swing of the W damage. Hasn't been taken down yet because we're still on 912.
And now C9 to make their choices. They are not really concerned at taking away the Xayah Rakan. They're going to grab Lux early on and have Zeyzal continue his reign on that champion. It's only a second game of the split, but I feel like almost every Lux has looked good so far. There is Trundle, a very common counter pick into Sedge. Aftershock or not, the ult is still quite good into the champion, who has temporary bonus armor MR before joining combat. That can be quite effective. And now we wait to see what Team Liquid does on their side.
Yeah, and they talked about how Cloud9 take more risks and how they just want a stable opening. And if they don't, give up some sort of big play, then they think they are the better team on the side of Team Liquid. So I expect them to kind of draft in that way and draft themselves some stable lanes. They've got Sejuani to work around in the jungle. You have your frontline tank. Now they've got Aatrox, one of the biggest team fighters, which Impact has performed extremely well on, both in the LCS and in the international play.
Interesting that TL are actually not going to grab their prize duo Xayah Rakan. They're willing to let that slip down the ban phase and grab other champions instead. Aatrox scores very strong. Sejuani first pick, sure, of course. Always, I think, literally every team should probably do that right now in this stage of the game. But they're actually going to grab an early Corki here and put that most likely onto Jensen. That's a bit of a surprise to me. I am curious what the logic behind that is. I'm sure they have reasons. TL coming out ready to swing against their toughest competition in North America right now.
All right, some AP power from the mid lane here. They do want to balance some damage types,
Sure.
And Corki does scale super well, as we saw in the last game. A lot of good, crits coming through, as well as the Trinity Force start definitely has a lot of power. Package duration being pushed up, or I mean the package acquisition time for your first one.
I think that's actually the ARAM only change.
Oh,
It was somehow listed in the normal patch notes, and it's also, I think, a 913 change. But either way, Corki is good. Yes, good magic damage to deal. Secondary marksman on the squad. And it's very interesting. I don't see this very often, but diametrically opposed lanes were grabbed here. Yes, we have seen Lux mid. Don't get me wrong. That's still a possibility here. But I'm expecting Sivir Lux bot lane versus both solos very obviously being grabbed for Liquid unless Corki is flexed to double lift.
all right. Well, it's not going to be the Zoe answer. Pretty common into Corki here. Team Liquid taking that one off the table for Niski.
There's
some-
Sona Xayah.
Yeah, definitely breaking both of the two powerful bottom lane pieces that you can still have. Team Liquid played a lot of Sona lanes at Rift Rivals.
They were successful more often than not. Maybe double scoop back on Ezreal duty. He enjoyed that a whole lot back then as well, but final bans come out as Twisted Fate, and it's Liquid taking the read that C9 are indeed playing Lux at support, but that is a flexible champion.
Yeah, and it does okay into Corki. Can definitely farm it out. Fishing for snares to hit, and especially if you can bring Trundle over with a pillar, they could set something up, but it is going to be the Jace to try and harass the Aatrox early. I definitely think it's a super nice matchup for Jace to try and deny Aatrox some snowballing. Aatrox's early lane has taken a couple of hits, so if they protect Kumo on the top side, like Smithy gets him some vision, if Trundle can control the Scuttle Crab, then this could be an area where the sub top laner here for Cloud9 could actually become the star of the match.
This could look really nice right here. Not just Zeyzal's beard, but this matchup as double lift on Lucian, CoreJJ on Braum. Definitely a very strong duo lane. Double lift loves playing aggressive lane, as what Lucian certainly is. We have seen far too many of these champions not be played to win lane, but double lift will try that. And up against Cloud9, their last pick is going to be Veigar. Wow, I don't think I've seen C9 play Veigar since Lemonation was on the squad back in Worlds 2015, so that's going to be exciting as the champions move around. Niski on the Veigar mid.
Yeah, Veigar's been creeping back into it. Hako played it as support role first, then we did get another mid lane one, and we'll
Nemesis
see.
played it?
Yeah, we'll see how Niski can actually get through the early game. One of the big things for Veigar, of course, is farming up your AP first, and the ultimate is good versus all types of champions now, not just people who are stacking AP. So everyone has to worry about the big burst damage. See how they'll navigate around the cage as well. I kind of like this Cloud9 style there with Jace on top, so Smithy can actually focus that area of the map. Sivir and Lux will try and clear waves and stay away from the Lucian Braum, because that's definitely a classic kill lane. Lucian dashing in, trying to get the double tap to get a stun off.
Yeah, Silver Spell Shield actually not that good against Braum overall. You can block the stun, but you can restack the passive instantly afterwards and just do it all over again, which Lucian is primed to do. And Braum is good at blocking Sivers, boomerangs, and whatnot. This will be an exciting game here. The two top teams in North America are doing battle right now. Liquid looked good at Rift Rivals. Cloud9, not full power then, maybe not now either, but still a good team overall. Great players on the roster, and it's going to be an absolutely exciting one. Let's get ourselves into this game as Team Liquid and Cloud9 face off to close out the first round robin.
I mean, people were super excited to see Kumo on the LCS stage. He had that single game on Gangplank, which resulted in a victory. Now he's going to get some real time to shine. Jace is something that you can really try and get out to an early lead. Corrupting Potion picked up for even more harassment here, so you try and throw out those autos as often as you can on Aatrox, dodge back into the brush to drop minion aggro, and try and get an early health lead.
But with the Veigar pick, interesting things for Cloud9. We have a word with Reaper to talk about what this game is.
Thanks, guys. Coach, Cloud9 is coming off of a pretty disappointing Rift Rivals run, and you're going against Team Liquid. It's your first match back. So what's the team thoughts coming into today?
Team feels really good right now, and we recover process from the last Rift Rival, but obviously it's really tough to play against Team Liquid right after the recovery process, but we feel good, and I hope we can play well against Team Liquid right now.
With that, you also have Kumo coming as a top lane sub for Licorice, so what can we expect to see from him?
I'm not worried about Kumo at all.
Ooh, not worried at all. Reaper, thank you. Best of luck to you. Back to you guys.
All right, we are on to this one. I actually enjoy, we've had a lot of all chat already in this game. To give you a quick rundown for those who aren't on ProView, immediately Sven Skarin says, oh, now you want a Veigar on your team.
Fair enough. Kumo getting the early harassment as Impact heads back to lane as well. See if he can also pick up all the last hits, gets all three, and harasses while doing it.
One CS for the Aatrox, unlucky. Impact already falling behind to an NA Jace. Can you imagine?
But an NA Academy Jace.
Not anymore.
They're a different breed.
NA LCS Jace, we in there. Let's go. Bot lane, meanwhile, Zeyzal shield early. And they try to go for some auto attack trades. Don't find them just yet, but it does give a bit of pressure to this C9 duo early on as they are pushing forward.
Yep, Sneaky using his patented skin as well with the pizza delivery.
Love it.
Trying to get the early push, as you mentioned. If they can get into the turret early, they could move up, try and get a ward here to see Xmithy, because Xmithy did start on the blue side of the map. He is going for the talisman start so he can still do all these AoE camps on the red side, but it is a power clear for Sejuani. Trying to farm it out extensively early. We're gonna get a quick pause here on stage, make sure everything is in order. But that is gonna be my next area of focus, is the bottom half of the map. And it looks like Zeyzal did use that time after pushing the minion wave to move up and get a ward into the tribe rush. So if Xmithy does finish up the full clear, he's going to have to find a Q over the back of the Dragon Pit or something, or go through the lane. You can actually lane gank with Lucian Braum pretty effectively because, as you talked about, you can stack up those stuns and try and force that engage.
And neither one can blink, so you can run down the Lux, no problem either. I did see that Niski is the one who paused. Don't know if that was because of it's his issue or not, but he was the one who typed in the command. We'll wait to hear what this is all about overall, but going to be an interesting game. One thing is, you're talking about the bottom lane, actually. Something I've heard recently from players is, I know everyone likes to meme about Sneaky in lane, that his laning phase is not very good. But what I've heard is actually his laning phase has gotten a lot better. He's actually a very good laner. It's actually Zeyzal who is, his skill set is not so much in laning, but his overall mid-game shot calling. And so C9's generally slightly weak laning phase is actually not on Sneaky anymore.
Ah, typical AD carry freak here.
Yeah, blame the support. That's me. I'm just saying, just putting one out for my homie Sneaky that he's not the problem.
Fair enough.
Not that Zeyzal really is either. I think C9's great overall as a team.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be super interested in the mid lane matchup as well. I know last time we saw Veigar, Froggen was tweeting out, yeah, I'd love to have my team carry me for 20 minutes too and play Veigar. of the opinion that he's not going to be able to get any early action. And yes, you really do need to stack up the AP to have that big threat. But I always love the players that can really utilize the cage well, because it's such a big CC. And you either need to have the skill indicator on it, because the center is the center of the cage where you cast it, but you need to be able to cast it with the edges touching people. So either have the skill indicator on, or just put enough games in on the champion that you get the feel for the exact range, and you can really see that on stage take effect. When these guys are popping up the high intensity moments with Veigar cages to actually land right on people without having them to walk into it.
Absolutely, that's going to be a big thing. That's why I always have a smart cast and a manual cast keybind that I just pop that out if needed and don't have to change between games. As I was talking about Spice from All Chat, I think my all-time favorite one so far is Jensen goes, so Licorice got benched. I guess we've come full circle now, which I really enjoyed. Throwback to, 2018 Cloud9 or spring when the whole roster got moved around?
You could do the whole story where, Licorice was the one coming up, from Academy. So everybody taking some motivation time, I guess.
Smoothie was on the roster, then Zeyzal came in, and then they traded Smoothie away to Echo Fox, I believe, and it went on from there, and now Smoothie's on TSM, and Zeyzal still starts for Cloud9, and sneaking the rest of the crew are back.
Meanwhile, Jensen has swapped teams over to the opponents now. The guy on stage here, right on camera, is Niski, trying to play against Jensen, who he has replaced for Cloud9. A lot of people were super worried. How are Cloud9 possibly going to replace Jensen?
Yeah.
Who was definitely an all-star for them in the mid lane, huge performer at the international tournaments especially. But I really think that Niski, even though he didn't have the star power when he came in, has delivered a lot of the things that this Cloud9 team needed. He's a very versatile player, and he's showing it once again here on stage with the Veigar.
Yeah, one of the things early on in his career on C9 is Reaper talking about trying to make him a more selfish player, to have him more of a player who asks for ganks, kind of filling the shoes of Jensen in a more specific way, the types of things that he would do to play more aggressively. I actually thought Niski's Rift Rivals was pretty solid. I think it was the Yasuo game, looked really good. I think he got a solo kill on Capture someone, which is really impressive as well. So I think he has been getting a lot better, and I am very sort of stoked to keep seeing Niski play.
Yeah, people were even making the 1v9 jokes because everybody else on the team was really struggling, and some of the games they were losing, Niski fighting his heart out. Looks like they might have solved some of the issues. He at least looks happier, so that's
good.
That's definitely a good thing. In good spirits here for the Cloud9 side.
Thumbs up.
Getting some readies in chat.
That's good. It's always a lowercase r than some. I think Niski's always one who does it, types R, then in parentheses Eddie. Because I remember doing that last week as well, and I was like, why does this guy keep doing this? Regardless, though, I'd heard that he was getting FPS issues. Looked like they restarted the game client, and everyone is typing R, and game resumes in 3, 2, and 1. And Summoner's Rift will soon replace Svenskaren's face, and there we are.
All right, let's see some more Svenskaren's face then, maybe on one of these jungle cameras.
It'll be next after the. There it is. There's Svenskaren.
He's heading down the bottom side, and he's looking for a scuttle contest here. As we mentioned, the Kobe!
He called it like 8 minutes ago. And they see each other. Smithy tries to clear a ward and has to now run away from Svenskaren. I didn't even spot the ward. Wow, that super didn't see that trinket, so.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows he's seen anyway.
Is going to spray Svenskaren. Oh,
doesn't even spray Svenskaren.
Unlucky. Bottom side of the map, though, Sneaky, as you're mentioning, their lane phase is able to push him in again. Zeyzal lands the Q.
Yep. Gets an auto off, manages to break out all of that. Of course, Sejuani not slowed much, so.
Yeah, if you have the passive on, it's actually one of the super feels good parts about the champion.
Walking Luxie.
Yeah, you can't get slowed, so Luxie or picking up Honey Fruit is one of my favorite things.
Oh my gosh, it's so broken.
Because your passive, your passive's not going to get hit, so you get the full heals without getting harassed too much. Impact here is getting harassed quite a lot by Kumo. As we mentioned, the Jace early on gets a lot of free damage onto the Aatrox, so you can harass him at will. So Kumo doing a very good job pushing Impact under the turret, and then roaming down to get the scuttle. So this is a double scuttle for Cloud9, because Svenskaren got the bottom half one, and Jace with the knockback is able to take off the armor and magic resist of the Scuttle Crab, pick it up himself, get the extra money on top of the CS lead that he's been able to work up here on Impact.
And a nice little thing is he's able to get his own mana bar back by hitting it in melee form, getting the flat mana per hit. So he burned down the 2 mana and then got it all back. Beautiful stuff here. And look at that mana pool. He's at 2/3 with still 2 potions left up. Niski can push around, is out of mana here. That's going to be a little unlucky.
Yeah. I also feel like maybe they should take off the Scuttle Crab refunding so much mana.
Maybe so, yeah.
It feels like there's a lot of rewards for the Scuttle Crab. And currently, C9 with both of them have full vision of the river. So it feels like Team Liquid not going to have... Ooh, but Impact maybe will have some threats.
Just early on that second Q for Impact. Misses the knock up there.
And you notice the phase rush on Kumo. Never mind, we're going to have an engagement on bottom side.
Skills coming in. Zazel trying to block the shots, but can't really sneak. He's almost dead to flash. The ignite is enough. First blood comes through. Now Double has to flash away. Zazel he can land the Q, and he finds a slow also. Corjay slowing him down, won't find another, but first blood still good. Both supports picking up kills.
Yeah, hey, you're throwing a little shade there at Zazel during the pause. He fires right back and gets the kill for the bottom side. Both of the supports also get all the money, so that is probably going to be an advantage for Zazel on the Lux. Yeah, a little bit of extra harassment when you upgrade that Spell Thief super early feels so nice. Let's take another look at how it happened. Core JJ jumps to the minion, Q's right past their own melee. So nice start there. And then we mentioned the easy stack there for Lucian committing to get the stun. Core JJ then flash ignites, but Zazel also ignites, flashes in as well. Lands the Q, and we're back out to some action.
We're back out of some wards dying. Yeah, a couple of very small mechanical things didn't quite go C9's way. Slightly late spell shield for Sneaky, and Zazel not landing the second half of W. Both of those would have been enough to keep him alive. But regardless, a trade of kills 1 for 1, and okay, that's a pretty nice pillar. A little bit of damage for the Smithy, out he goes.
Because it was traded over, gold's still very even too. Take a look at Jensen here. Inside the cage, so didn't quite get the edge on that one, but still a lot of harassment from Niski.
Just autoing him as Veigar. It's like, you don't have cooldowns. I'll just throw little crappy orbs at you. And
hey!
What? Veigar autodeck is one of the worst things in the game.
Powerfully magic-infused orbs.
Okay. Worth 61 damage for armor. And then the stun comes in, the ignite into the ult! Those are crappy infused orbs, but the ignite might not do enough damage. Jensen able to walk away, but with no TP, is gonna have to walk the long way back.
Yeah, pretty close. That Spellbook Veigar definitely packs a punch. Level 6 plus the ignite coming through, but not been able to take down Jensen. And he'll be able to walk back to lane. Definitely gonna be a CS advantage holding over for Niski though in the Veigar matchup. That's gonna be super nice for them.
Take it off.
Oh, the cannon!
Take it off. Okay, got the cannon. Now get the rest of them. They're all yours, Smithy. You deserve this farm as the jungler.
That's pretty hard with the Sejuani with the Cinder Hulk as well. The early burn from the bombies is gonna be
yeah.
Plus, I feel like mid laners are always gonna yell at me and like spam pings just because you're killing them a little bit earlier, so that
you're not XP.
exactly the experience, they're not gonna be in range as quickly. Whereas I'm like, come on, there's money on the ground. Let me pick it up.
Cannon was always going to die. I think that one's always safe to grab. But you're right, the other minions died a little bit faster. And Jensen really only got like 2 CS from that whole push. All right. Back in the jungle. Svenskeren gets rid of a little Ghost Poro. Now hatches a ward himself, but Impact is waiting in the corner.
Yeah, I'm still getting used to the new Ghost Poros where they don't have to be in the brush, you know? It's just from the, your ward's expiring. And it's just like a, oh yes, I didn't know you had vision here the entire time too, I guess.
Yep.
Meanwhile, bottom side is going to be some river control on the side of Team Liquid because they saw Svenskeren with that Ghost Poro. So whenever you have vision of the enemy jungler, you want to make a powerful play. Bottom side's pushing, so Smithy can move in, take this blue buff. This is all because of that ward, that Ghost Poro that both saw him on the Krugs. Will he get caught though?
Q, there's a stun, there's the cage. They're gonna have a lot of damage. Niski on the board against Smithy. The zap comes in. A double kill for Veigar. And Niski looks for another cage. He's got a few seconds to go till that comes up, but he's running fast. Double lift. Can he get away from this one? Soon they have the stun. He finds the first bit. The light binding, the damage output, the pizzas, everything they can. Double burning, but he will stay alive.
Oh my goodness, they saw him on the top side, but they didn't finish their job quick enough, Freak. Hands caught in the cookie jar here as Smithy still on the blue buff while Svenskeren walked all the way down, and Cloud9 closed the trap on blue buff, pick up the extra kills here, and 2 of them going to Veigar. This pick already paying off, Freak.
Yeah.
Let's take another look. Svenskeren ran all the way down, blast coned over, and just in time, as well as able to chase off Smithy here. Gets caught up with the Veigar stun and the Lux binding. Able to annihilate him, and then ult came back up for Niski, ready to take down the support for kill number 2.
And he says, okay, I can chase it down. My E will be up in time, and he was right. Almost enough damage, but back in the map is Team Liquid. And this Cloud Drake is completely theirs. A lot of cloud spawning so far today. So a clear summer sky in Los Angeles, and we're gonna have these Scuttle Crabs also taken down by Svenskeren. Overall game state though, 300 gold in the lead for Cloud9, a very close one. When you consider a 2-kill lead, the farm is going the way of Team Liquid.
Meanwhile, top side, revisiting the island up here after all the bottom side action. Impact now up to level 9 with a lot of armor. So once you're in, oh, never mind.
Ooh, big fight right here, finds the spot!
Oh!
Jensen walks into it, do they have the damage? Oh my word, he does! And now it's time for Smithy to run, hightail it out of there, get away from everything. Niski keeps stacking ability power.
Oh my goodness. If you come at the king, you better not miss. Niski is outplaying all of Team Liquid right now. Jensen went for the all-in with the package, and then Valkyrie right into the edge of the cage. Really heads up play there by Niski reacting. Once he sees that Jensen stuns himself on the edge, he's able to get the full combo, but here's another look at it. Package. So Jensen wants to use the package after he sees the Dark Matter Ears there. He does get the knockback, and so you've got the burn going on Niski, but the cage had already started to form, and that allows him to land the next one. He's got ult ready, and then Niski also able to sidestep Smithy's Sejuani ultimate.
Yeah.
That has happened before, and he's able to walk him down after that and work off a turret plate as an extra reward.
All right, taking stock of the rest of the map right now. 4-1 in kills, still only 300 gold apart. The bottom lane right now for Team Liquid actually looking very good. Doublelift up 400 gold himself just from farm. We know one plate's been dropped off the mid lane here as well, and this TP is going to force C9 to run away. Svenskeren gets the speed boost out of Sneaky's ultimate, and as Impact walks right back out, Niski puts a cage just to make the runaway a little bit slower. 5 down here right now as Jace is soloing the top turret.
Yeah, this is a terrible position for Team Liquid. They've committed 5 people with the teleport, and they're not going forward with the dive because they're scared about the roam from Veigar cutting them off. So all that accomplishes... Oh,
good flash by Core, but a sidestep means Niski is not knocked up, and a summoner spell for nothing means it's even worse. Team Liquid spend a lot and get absolutely nothing.
and he dodges another missile there while he's on screen right before the camera moves. Niski with the fast speed is dodging so much here for Cloud9. Kumo got most of the plates off topside and is transitioning over here to maybe contest Rift Herald as well.
Now they're gonna try. You've got Kumo waiting in the wings. Nice stun on the front line. Svenskeren.
Oh.
The flash goes nowhere. The ult makes him durable, but it's not enough. Kill pickup there for Team Liquid. Smithy a bit low, but there's no follow-up. He'll stay alive. And this Herald's getting lower and lower. No Smite to fight against. This is gonna be completely TLs as long as... Oh, Kumo picks Smithy. Veigar can do no wrong. Niski gets another kill.
God.
He's on a rampage. And the chase. Kumo steps up huge.
Oh, Kumo is popping off here on the LCS stage, Freak. In spring, everyone was excited to see him try his hand. He has utilized the Jace extremely well on the top side. Roams down, sniper shot gets the kills, and Niski is 4-0 on Veigar now, level 11. There's nothing you can do to avoid the burst damage anymore. Proto Belt is back up for him.
And that's plates 4 dropped off the mid lane turret. A lot of gold gain and suddenly a 3,000 gold lead. Cloud9 massively ahead now in the early game.
Well, now we know why Reaper said he's not worried about Kumo.
Yeah.
And left it at that.
Team Liquid should be worried about Kumo, if anything. This is a very good performance across the board here for C9.
All right, let's take another look at this one. Really nice stun this time by Smithy. He lands a long one onto Svenskeren. Svenskeren then flashing into the wall there because he had very little time. try to get the panic one off, doesn't make it. So Team Liquid stay on this because Impact got the reset on Aatrox, but it times out here. Kumo just snipes Xmithy right there in the front and then jumps on double lift. They did not respect the Jace on the top side. I think that was definitely an error from Team Liquid. Seemed like some discord within their calls. Like they were completely split there. They just left the low health Sejuani right in front of Kumo.
Yeah.
And that was actually a pretty easy shock blast to land.
Yep, QE from
Basically
300 range.
half distance, so actually pretty easy to land that one. And then he just jumps right on double lift, 80 carry next to him, so.
Big damage into Kumo. Okay, gets in the melee range for the one, puts him back into the turret. Impact gonna chase. Can't find the knockup. Kumo, one more turret shot. Oh, he's got the solo kill. Kumo!
All right, that one was more difficult to pull off, and you get credit for that one. Impact with his ult and with his flash up gets destroyed. Oh my goodness.
What a performance on stage, stepping up, replacing arguably the best top laner North America, and filling those shoes cleanly.
Oh my goodness.
First turret, solo kills Impact, saves Rift Herald.
Here's a pro view from Kumo's perspective. Gets it, oh my goodness, gets him with the knockback. You can tell he immediately goes for the kill. Shock blast land, the last turret shot gets him.
No reaction in the cam at all.
Yeah, it's
The
just
anti-Whippo.
another day at work, Freak,
Yep.
on the stage.
Yeah, solo kills a world champion and BD. All right, well, back on the bottom side of the map, Cloud9 ready to stack up here is move towards more ability power and cooldown reduction for Niski. Infernal Drake is a prized possession, but Team Liquid, you can see how far they're giving this one. They do not have the rights to steal it. 50 had a flash, but no vision in the pit means no chance to steal. And Infernal Drake goes to Cloud9 on top of their 3,000 gold lead. Now Impact gets a little bit of time top side, but spends the time to put a ward down to see Kumo coming, and we'll get some damage dealt here.
All right, Kumo gonna come back to his lane kingdom and chase off Impact here. There's no turret left for Impact, so he needs some extra support if he's gonna be up here. And he's called Xmithy.
Good package, or Valkyrie that time by Jensen, gets out in time. Those cooldowns fairly similar, but I think it's actually shorter for Veigar.
Oh, they
Sven.
have extra info.
Spotted. He's gonna try to get away. No vision as yet, but stunned in place, and a good collapse. Team Liquid finally on the board again.
Svenskeren caught in almost the exact same spot there. Core JJ's sweeper saw him in the brush, and there's no way for Svenskeren to know that that sweeper has revealed him.
Yeah.
So really nice stealth play there from Team Liquid to get the kill back. They can get some momentum off this. They go for the red side invade. They're trying to support Impact in his push.
Signs of life for TL. Top outer likely to fall right here as they've moved the team around and no one's answering bottom lane. In fact, everyone is on the top side of mid right now. So TL gonna tie up the score in turrets. The gold, no, only 2,500. They are shrinking that lead. Good pickups there to come back into this one. TL characterized C9, or I should say Jensen characterized C9 as like G2, but not quite as good in that they are aggressive and really to try new things out. And the Veigar mid certainly a atypical mid laner.
Yep, able to get both of those last hits under the turret, I believe.
Yep.
And Niski's been stacking up his AP really effectively, especially getting
168.
a lot of this extra cash is going to go a very long way.
Yep. He was at 100 at 10 minutes and 68 over the next 8. As the big team fights obviously did a lot for him there, but certainly farming well. Prioritizing CDR, Merc treads to make sure he's safe from things like Sejuani. Uptime more important than burst damage.
Yeah, I always really like the cooldown reduction on Veigar.
Oh, ooh, really nice by Impact there. Timed all those really well, but now the rest of the squad coming over. Gonna try to get another knockup on Akuma over the wall. What a push! What a play! What a kill for Team Liquid, and Svenskeren now in danger, but the Sun Cage comes up. So not the rest of the team. He's gonna stay alive, but pops his ult, and that's gonna time it before too long, so outruns Cloud9, a pick for TL. And they're hungry for a bit more, but no engage tools available means they can't quite find their way in. This looks the cage, not gonna find that either.
Team Liquid showing some team solidarity here as they make back-to-back plays with several members. Core JJ and Xmithy roaming together, and the team standing behind Impact already there to jump on Kumo for the return kill. Impact able to bait him in close to the wall, and they get the jump out of Fog of War. Two really big Fog of War plays for Team Liquid.
Yeah.
These are the back-to-back-to-back LCS champions, not going to go down without a fight. Impact starts it out. As he said, hits him with the chain, dashes backwards to land the first, and then land the second. Really nicely played there. Then he's able to lure him over to the death wall, where Jensen with the package, Smithy and CoreJJ both jumping over. And once they've got that kill advantage, plus the reset on Impact's ultimate, there's no way there for Cloud9 to re-engage. So Team Liquid have won the area.
Beautiful stuff right there, and I can't even blame Kumo for the play. His team was right behind him, but TL faster, smarter, and off they go, picking up another kill. So now 4-8, and the gold lead has shrunk to just 1,000. So really good job getting back into this mid game. And now we get to play the rest of this one out at almost equal footing. Luden's Echo done for the Cloud9 mid laner. Jensen getting closer to his next item, going, looks like it's going to be Essence Reaver second, compared to the IE from earlier. Nice cage, puts out the flash of Smithy. They're not going to quite stay for the turret, afraid of what the re-engage might look like, but one auto attack would knock that down.
All right, they have to play around the cooldown here with the cage. Are they going to move up with it? You can just put it down.
What about cage? That could have been really good. The pillar almost set it up too. Okay, mid-outer is gone. 2-1 in turret, 1,700 gold difference. No one really on the side lanes. It looks like Aatrox from Impact going to claim a wave in the top lane, but answered by Kumo.
Niski right now, by the way, 45% capped out with the CDR with the blue buff being worn. So the cage spam provides them so much utility in these team fights. It's really difficult for Team Liquid to find their way in.
Another fight in the bottom lane, though. Impact not able to find the knockups. Gets that one, though. Good damage and good juke away from the shock blast. Would have dropped him very, very low. So out goes Kumo as Smithy comes back over and kills a ward.
Yep. Kumo now going to expect multiple Team Liquid members each time Impact does go super aggressively like that. Meanwhile, the rest of C9 trying to clear out the wards in preparation for the arrival of this dragon.
Yo, Ocean Drake is definitely nice for these resource-heavy champions. Niski can farm forever. Sneaky burns through a lot of mana. S3 doesn't always completely cover that one. That'll actually feel really good in this game state. And that was earned by all their mid control, and even bot to a certain extent, as Impact was pushed pretty low, and Kumo healthier, can feel more comfortable there. Impact no ult is going to be a pretty big deal, of course, as well.
All right, Double Lift pushing up on the top side, trying to get the wave in place for Team Liquid as they move over to the Baron area. Svenskeren leaving around some defensive control wards here for them, but they don't have any inside the pit. Going really dark right now as they don't have vision on any of the Team Liquid members except for Impact bottom side, who does have teleport. Nice ward, though, from Kumo.
Yeah, that could have been sussed out because they would have seen Kumo put a ward down, or at least come to the near spot right there. Big root, though, on is good damage. Look at CoreJJ, jumps back to his team. The flash, Niski puts up the barrier, and there is no way out. The baby cage sends him home. Svenskeren grabs the kill.
All right, is that going to be enough to force something here around the Baron? They can try and bait it a bit. Svenskeren doesn't have armor, though, on Trundle, and so the Baron would do significant damage. Yeah. Looks like they're just going to rely on their control wards.
Nice pillar. Svenskeren's going to feel safe. Zaza coming around. Has an early Mikhail's Crucible on the Lux, so can remove someone from the Sejuani ultimate. Gonna have to keep that one in mind, as no one else has to go QSS right now. Merc treads across a lot of these champions, but Mikhail's versus Sejuani going to be big. It's the only real important cooldown you've got here. Easy walk away for Smithy. Cloud Drake at work in some cases. Corki pushing the bottom lane. TL kind of trading off who's going to be down there. This time around it's Jensen. Answered by Kumo yet again. Easy pick up there. Smithy grabs that one. Ghost pop by Niski. Going in for Impact, forcing the flash out, but he's going for round 2. Over the wall they can go. Looking for damage though on an Impact. A lot of burst damage. The root is there, and they're going to knock down the Aatrox. Good setup by Zazel and Niski to make it happen.
Yeah, the spellbook on Veigar has paid off so heavily here for Niski. The Ghost this time forcing flash, forcing ult, and getting the kill when Zazel lands the skill shot. The important snare there is landed in the end after everything was blown, and he gets
another huge root. Oh, wow. Smithy barely gets just over the wall. Merc treads at work.
Yeah, Merc treads very, very valuable here versus a Veigar and Lux team.
Legend Tenacity helping as well. Precision secondary mandatory against his team composition. But the poke continues, and this mid wave is going to drop. Kumo gets the bot lane outer. Meanwhile, Double pushing the top lane, so there is still farm trading back for TL. Don't know if he can stay for too much longer, but right now, C9 actually in vision. They are not moving, so Doublelift knows he's actually safe to keep going.
And Veigar able to put down the cage again as they siege.
No way out for CoreJJ, but not a lot of dangerous cooldowns to push him down, so it's not really going to matter. As bot lane still taking fire, mid lane taking fire, Double is still attacking the top lane as well.
Remember, Cloud9 do have an Ocean Drake, so in the extended siege, they can still regenerate up. But Doublelift, unrelenting on the top half of the map, gets another turret for Team Liquid.
Okay, that's going to be 2 to 3 in turret. C9 nearly knocks down bot lane tier 2, nearly knocks down mid lane as well in a slow. Now Doublelift, this time with a pillar. This could be enough of a 2v1. Sven pops the ult for the health. Here comes the play. The slow's coming across, but TL over the wall. They found their way in. Look at the re-engage now. CoreJJ, knock up, not going to land thanks to Spell Shield from Sneaky. The 5 of them already all together. Out they go, keeping the member alive.
Doublelift able to get out from his mission on top side. Kumo recommitting to try and get that tower on bottom though and answer it. Currently, all of the wards around Baron have been pretty split. It looks like within the actual pit, they don't have vision, but leading up to it,
Oh, TP.
both of them, okay.
Doublelift is the one who's showing up. That's going to be an interesting 1v1. Where's the rest of his squad? He's going to go for the flay. Does not have the Rune King for the slow though, but a nice culling. Finds a lot of damage, but Kumo going to run away with the acceleration gate. Just some damage dealt, out they go.
Yeah, teaching him a lesson there.
Yeah, I have more guns than you.
But the goal was accomplished, right? Kumo was able to take down the secondary turret on bottom side, so the pathway is open for the split push.
Mid tier 2 fell just to minions down there. The bot lane, of course, we just saw Kumo grab it. We'll see where they want to go next. 30 seconds, the Ocean Drake. Baron's been alive for a while. Top laners probably still stay at that bottom side, indeed they do. TP, though, not up for Impact. Kumo has his. That's
Impact's flanking with the team, though. This could be 5v4.
okay, look at the play. Haste towards Jensen, not going to catch him with the cage. Impact still in fog control to make sure he's safe. He is.
Team Liquid waiting out the duration of the ultimate. They found Impact, though.
And he's rooted right away, and they got a lot of damage. Can he find any kind of answer? That is a no. Was surrounded, waiting in the brush.
Yeah, Team Liquid had laid a trap, but Impact was the only one still in trap mode. everyone else had retreated. And then the trap without the
Keep going, Kobe.
bangs on it.
Without the bait. It was just the bear trap,
It's just bait.
and it just rusted.
Oh my god. All right, regardless,
Best
Cloud9.
analogy ever.
Cloud9 are able to defuse it, and now they're on Baron, burning it down. They should be able to get it.
Oh, Kumo just solos Jensen, and the trap continues to lose its fangs. The Baron taken by Cloud9.
All right, now it's a Baroned up Cloud9 coming for the siege. They've got the Ocean Drake. They have the Infernal further empowering the Shock Blast from Kumo. And the full lethality level 16. Jace is going in!
Oh, Doublelift now gone as well. The cage is up for another. Cloud9 are unrelenting. They will crack into the base with these death timers. It's a 5v2 for 20 seconds. They're going right for the Nexus turrets, and I think they have done it. Cloud9 will knock down the #1 team with a new top laner. Kumo looks amazing, and the Nexus falls.
Niski making that Veigar mid look pretty good. Early on in the game, dodging so many skill shots. That is important regardless of the champion that you are on, but he also was able to create so many plays for the team, utilizing Veigar's utility. The big AoE stun with the cage, super effective for this team. A lot of value out of the spellbook as well. And with some good play from Kumo on the top side, Cloud9 come back from Rift Rivals looking strong.
I don't think they won a game at Rift Rivals. I'm pretty sure it was a remarkably bad performance. And, you know, Licorice said that he had regrets not being able to play at full power. Kumo comes in. He's playing at full power right now. Cloud9 looking strong once again. This is kind of the team we expected to see throughout most of the regular season. Big hug for a win in his LCS debut. Just impressive is all I can really say. Every single player I feel like stepped up big.
Definitely a well-executed game for them. Finding the multiple Team Liquid plays in action. Team Liquid had a couple good strike backs there on some Fog of War plays to get some kills back for themselves and put a little bit of pressure back on C9. But the last one, where they're completely split. The 4 members of the trap separated
From the bait of the trap.
From Impact. And then Impact's all alone, and they finally find him in the corner, nowhere to go.
Yep.
That being the game ender was just the most comical ending to this game that I could imagine.
It completely fell apart, but Team Liquid did try. Cloud9 by far, though, the better team today. Let's send it down to Avli, who's ready for an interview with the triumphant mid laner.
Thanks, guys. Niski, congratulations on the win. Tell me about that Veigar pick, man. Was that your secret weapon, or is that just a quirky counter?
It's kind of my secret weapon. I mean, I was just playing it in solo queue. It was fun, and it looked good as well. So I was like, why not, you know? And then, yeah, we practiced a bit, and I mean, it seems good, so.
I mean, it looks really good, and you took down Team Liquid, a very tough opponent, right after the Rough Rift Rivals. So what was it like taking them down for you?
I don't know, to be honest, because I feel like they were playing, I won't say like great. I don't know if they had like a bad day or something, but I feel like they were just kind of surprised by like Veigar, for example, and they didn't know what to do. And like they TP'd bot, they tried to dive, it didn't work. And then they tried to rift, it didn't work as well, I don't know. I feel like every play they were making was just bad, and we just capitalized on it, and we just won the game by that.
What was going through your head when you actually stole Rift Herald from them?
I mean, Svensson was screaming that Sedge was dead, and I was like, all right, I mean, I've still pro the belt, right? So I just pro the belted in, and we just got ripped, yeah.
And you said Team Liquid was surprised by the Veigar, but something that we were all surprised by was Kumo in the top lane. Tell me about him, because, you know, Academy World Champion top laner, but coming in, we were excited to see what he could bring.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kumo is really good when he's on his champion that he likes, and I feel like, for example, today he played against Impact, and he did like an insane job, even though Impact is like probably like one of the best top laners here in NA. So yeah, I think Kumo is really good, and yeah, I'm happy that he performed well today.
And last week, a little bit of the sad thing, Rift Rivals was very tough for Cloud9, but it gave you an opportunity to play against some of the top international talent and a lot of those EU mid laners. So what did you really learn from that entire experience?
I mean, personally, I learned that I had to play more champions, even though they were not really like meta. For example, they were playing a lot of Twisted Fate and like Corki and stuff. And I wasn't really playing like other champions rather than meta champions before. Right now, I'm just trying to just have more champions that people don't really play against usually. So yeah, I mean, Rift Rivals was kind of sad, but also I think it made us better for sure.
I mean, again, you brought out the Veigar today, and that really worked for you. But Niski, thank you and congratulations again. And for more on the game, let's hear from the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much. Avli bounce back for Cloud9 after a disappointing Rift Rivals with Kumo in the lineup. They take a win over Team Liquid. So that'll feel good. And as was mentioned by Avli, the Veigar being piloted by Niski in the mid lane is a step in the right direction, champion-wise, when we talk about wanting to see more unique picks coming out of North America.
Absolutely. It is really powerful. Great laning, great crowd control that combos so well with the composition that Cloud9 drafted. And as we saw, you cage into pillar or back and forth. Then you've got the Lux spine, like we were saying. We were even trying to coin how you actually call cage with the pillar in the middle.
Yeah, the donut.
The donut comp, whatever you want to name it. It's any flavor for you.
Yeah, and it's after, you know, it's the last pick, so you see this pretty short range comp out of TL, more early game focus. So if you can find these picks with Lux Binding and Cage, you have really great long range assassination on a lot of them, as well as the Jace even comboing in there. So I think C9's comp was a beautiful reaction to what TL drafted.
And while, as Niski pointed out, some of the plays from Team Liquid may have been questionable, the early game amounted to a highlight reel for the entirety of Cloud9.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those games where, yeah, you can break down exactly how the comp is great and whatnot, but a lot of it came down to execution as well. And so you see this Braum Lucian lane being extremely aggressive in the early game, getting that solo kill on Sneaky, which is great, but not able to actually sidestep that. I'm surprised. It's such a slow projectile. Double knows he can dodge that.
This was the beginning of the end for me for Team Liquid, because this is a collapse where you don't have mid prio, as you see that Niski collapses first. And then you've got a bottom lane that's shoved in that has first collapse. And then the same thing happens here. You got 3 people. It's really basically a 5-on-3 because you got the Rift Herald. And while you do take away the jungler, everybody else is poked out, which is exactly the position you want to be in as Cloud9. I mean, Team Liquid's macro was not good this game, just flat out. A lot of weird plays.
Yeah, I mean, you also have to tip your cap to the mechanical plays for C9. Kumo coming up big here, gets the assassinate before the smite on the Rift Herald, so they get that one as well. The flash follow after kind of hitting in double up. Then here, super well played by him to dodge the Q there and then get the knockback into the turret. But at the same time, he flashes out. He could have flashed that third Q on top of Kumo
Right?
and just killed him.
Mechanically, we're trying to level up Team Liquid. Mechanically is their area of fault for a lot of these games. And like Niski was saying, there was a play where Xmithy walks through a control ward, they just run all the way down, teleport everybody into the bottom. And it's like, they saw this coming 20 seconds ago. You're not gonna get anything out of it.
Right.
It's just so weird to see that. It's uncharacteristic because that's not the Team Liquid that was at Rift Rivals that we were just praising 2 hours
Yeah, and
ago.
that's not to take away from Kumo's individual performance, because if we talk about that, I mean, he did step up in a big way for this roster. But to your point, Mark, there was an easy secure for impact there with a flash follow on that Q. He just didn't take advantage of it. The mechanics aren't there, and what could have been an advantage and maybe a turret take to follow.
Right, exactly. That's those 60-40 plays we're talking about. It's good to see Impact take that all in. And if Kumo doesn't play it mechanically perfectly, then you just kill him on your second Q. But then
Right.
Kumo plays it well by dodging that and knocking you back into the turret. So now it kind of re-puts the pressure on you. And that's exactly what Crumbs is talking about. Where like, you got to go for those plays, but then you actually need to execute them, because against top teams, that's what everyone's doing.
Right. So again, I come back to this kind of this thing we were landing on within Rift Rivals itself, where it's like, yes, Team Liquid lost, and maybe they were making some questionable plays, but at the same time, at least they're doing what we've asked them to do, which is Impact took the 60-40 play. Okay, he came out on the 40 this time around, right? But we want to see him keep making these plays, at least domestically, because then, hey, by the time you go back up against G2 at Worlds, you end up on the 60% side of that play.
I also think what Mark just said really gave me a good idea, because it's so true. It's like, if you make the right mechanical play and the opponent is at your level, he then has to make the play. So you got to be a third level of mechanics. And Niski was doing that every time, right?
Niski was sick.
Niski dodged so many skill shots that Team Liquid was thinking, oh, he's not going to dodge them. Well, you got to at least account for him to dodge it. And then what's the follow-up? And that's how you go into the next level mind game of League of Legends.
And I think it's super important, too, just to compare this game from the previous one, like how fast-paced this was, how much was about like this insane level of mechanics where one person plays it correctly and one person plays it pretty well, but not perfectly. So this is what we want to see out of when our top teams battle. Back and forth, trading kills, high action game, and I think a lot of the rest of the league needs to catch up to this level.
Right, both teams taking their opportunities to be aggressive and force plays. I mean, I can even think of the chase on Aatrox down into the Dragon Pit midway through the game, but it was, hey, a blown Veigar flash along with a Sivir ultimate just to secure one kill, but give you that advantage, that man advantage on the map for the next 40 seconds to make something happen. We got a quick break coming up, but on the other side, 100 Thieves hope to maintain a win streak as they go against TSM. Crumbs predicted it. Did you? Don't go anywhere.